Okay, now for Module 2, we're going to actually run through a small example where we're going to put on the pictures and copy the text and basically create it within our web page, and I'll try and consolidate everything. But we'll start from scratch. What we're going to do is we're basically going to create, we're in Aptana right now, we're going to create a brand new web project, and we're going to give this, using the default project, we're going to give it a name. We're going to call this Module 2 so that we have that there. And we're going to click Finish. Now it'll have everything that we need in Module 2. And now what we're going to do is basically, I'm going to go to my App Explorer, because this is in Module 2, and we're going to create our new file. We're going to create the new HTML file within Module 2. We're going to call this gettysburg.html, and it creates our page. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the tags that we are used to. There's my HTML tag, and we're going to put in the body tag. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to want to put, let's say, some headings. So we're going to put in H1 for our heading, and we're going to literally write Gettysburg, address. Okay, and at this point we can actually write, 1863 as the date. And then what we're going to do from an H2, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the text, and we can even write, text from the Gettysburg address. And what would be nice is we're going to actually highlight this a little bit, so we're going to put in our boldface tag. We'll just close the tag on this side. Okay. And we will put in our break so that we have some space. Now what I've done is I've gone onto the internet and I've actually just copied the Gettysburg address right here into a text file. So I'm just going to copy this. We'll minimize that. And sorry about that. And we will paste it right in there. Now you'll notice that we've got basically everything all the way across. It's because it doesn't have any character turns. Now one of the things that we can do is we can do word wrap down here. The way I did that, I'm sorry, is we press the right mouse button and it gives us inside of the main area. And when you press the right mouse button, what we'll do is it'll give you an option, another menu with some options. We click word wrap so that basically when it gets to the end of the little window here, it'll actually come back to the bottom. Okay, so this is basically our now what we're going to do is we want to bring the image over to our project so that we can use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you up at the top over here to the left where it says App Explorer and Project Explorer, what we're going to do is we're basically going to click on Project Explorer. And you'll see all the projects that you may have created. You'll see that right now we have the Gettysburg.html file that we've created over here. And the little star, by the way, means that it hasn't been saved yet. That's okay, we'll save it shortly. What we're going to do is I have this image on my file system. So I've downloaded the image and saved it somewhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to literally drag it into the Module 2 project that we've got. Oh, didn't save there. Hold on one second. And once I drop it in there, it says, okay, how should the files be imported into the project? Well, what I'd like it to do is I'd like it to make a copy of the one that's on our file system and put it into the Aptana project. So we're going to click OK. And now you'll see the file that's there. In our App Explorer, you'll notice that it's appeared here as well. There's a couple of other ways to do that, but I want to show you the difference between the App Explorer and the Project Explorer, and you'll see that we'll be interchangeable. We go back to our HTML code, and I say, at this point, I'd actually like to show that file. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do our image tag, and we're going to put in the source equals, and we will put in Gettysburg, BURG.jpg. That's our file. And now the image will appear below our text. And that basically shows us how we're going to do our image. So we can then add some attributes here if we wanted to. I'm sorry, this is a little wrong here. This should be like that. Sorry. Now we could do width equals 100. I could do height equals 50. I can do anything I want with the attributes, but I'm just going to leave this out right now. What we're going to now do is we're going to create a link. We're going to create a link to the top of our page. In order to do that, what we'll do is we'll basically create an A name here equals top of page. That's our A reference. And I want it to be, sorry, I shouldn't have taken that out. Then what we're going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to create a link to the top of the page. And we will say a href, because we want a hypertext reference to the anchor that we had stated, which is the pound symbol, and we go to top of page inside of quotes, and then I can close my ahref. And the text that I want to surround this to say, hey, if I click here, send it to the top, is jump to top. Okay, so this is what our page looks like. If I wanted to create a reference to another page that I had done, I might do something like this. Created by, and we could put, I could put my name, Alex Pelaez, and then I want to make that whole thing a hypertext reference. So I will use the A tag, href equals Pelaez.html, which might be the page that I created before, and I haven't done that, so this link won't work. And then I will surround that with my /a tag. Once that's done, I'm going to save this file, save. You'll notice that this has now been saved, and now we're ready to basically publish what we have. So we're going to right mouse click on our project here, and we're going to publish. Now again, we might need to do the deployment wizard, which we did from the previous video. We'll just come into here, we'll create FTP, and then we'll fill in our connections. If you're not sure how to do this, just take a look at the previous video. You should be able to do that. You will basically, you don't have to do this for every file, but you will need to do it for every project. So another way to do this would be we could take our Gettysburg HTML and Gettysburg JPG and put it into the older project, or continue using a single project if we want, which would be absolutely fine. You don't have to create multiple projects for this. Once you've put in the credentials, then what we want to do is we'll basically go back to publish and we'll do upload. When we do upload, we basically will see our files, the HTML and Gettysburg.jpg, and we can actually then just transfer them over. It may do the transfer automatically. Once it does that, you'll see some stuff on the console start changing, and it will say that it has put the two files up there, two files successfully loaded, Gettysburg HTML and Gettysburg.jpg. I've left the name incorrect. We can change that later. Once that's uploaded, successfully uploaded, and you hit your web page, you can then see the index of all the items that are there. You can then click on the Gettysburg address, and this is the page that you created. You'll notice that this is all the text with the Gettysburg address. Here is the image. Here's our jump to top. Now nothing will really happen. You'll see the URL change. The reason for that is that the page is too small. What I can do is shrink the page down just to show you. If I click jump to top, it'll actually bring you to the anchor spot here. So if your screen is very big, there's nothing to jump to. But if you shrink it down a little bit, you'll actually see that you're able to do that. And then here is the link to what would be my page, but it's not going to work because I don't have that. It was called student.html. So that will show you how to basically create the page, start editing it up a little bit, and we'll get ready to do a little bit more advanced stuff with the bold facing, italics, and some colors and so forth. See you for Module 3.